Herewith contained the Arcanogram, detailings and debriefings from the crew of the Windswift, circa 351 AD. Note the captains have been reshuffled subsequent to this debriefing. It should be noted. Now, Captain Blackston. What caused the destruction of the Kadandachi exactly?
The Kadandachi was destroyed by terrorists. Ice elves got themselves into the engineering room and detonated themselves there. That caused a chain reaction that took the entire vessel. Con later found out that they were bioengineered to be able to use their bodies as a bomb. My guess, a dragon conspiracy.
Captain Con, when you discovered the Rex Drakari, what exactly did you do, precisely?
Events were unfolding rapidly at that point. We were compromised. Didn't know who to trust. Attacked by an order vessel. We had to get to Achbrech, and we did. By a hard road. Very hard. We covertly entered the city and realized that a much larger plot was underway. We warned the Archon, and with his support we managed to head this plot off. Surprise was on our side, and we captured or killed many, including their leaders.
It should be noted that Captain Mutaru was reassigned to the Mulmore as a result that it was felt necessary to add additional captains to the Windswift to augment her already impressive operations, I suppose you would call it. Personally, I think it was a mistake. Now, let's see. Oh, yes. Captain Jorik, what precipitated your journey into the Drow Republic? Of all places, why did you go there?
We were trailing the ice elf down into this ziggurat. And once we got inside, we found an obelisk that the ice elf was trying to open. He did manage to open it, and he did it in order to retrieve some dragon artifacts. It was a staff and an amulet. Or, well, he was trying to retrieve the staff. I think he already had the amulet. Either way, we stopped him, obviously. And these two artifacts were taken care of by the Octrelicar. And we rather rapidly left the Drow Republic after that, as we had a lot of things to do.
You were present at the second ziggurat that was discovered in the Drow city of Corsinia. Is that correct, Captain Adrasai? And before you answer, take me through what you discovered there, within, of course, the bounds of the Order's edicts.
Well, traps, first of all, but less of them than we thought after that first one. Kruvix and his people must have set off quite a few of them. Now, we only saw a small part, but there was a massive empty chamber in the center. It had an obelisk that seemed to reach all the way up to the top. Just this huge, looming, magical thing. Kruvix was right there trying to open it up. He was using it as some sort of magic safe vault to store his dragon artifacts. The artifact, the obelisk. It is not one of those. It's not from dragons. It's far, far older. It steals magic, it steals energy, it sucks your soul out, really. Now, my theory is that it's one of these that the Order found back after the war, that this is what the gnomes reverse engineered and made into our engines. Probably made by the Shaquantil, this ancient civilization of lizard people that disappeared way before the dragon's time. Funnily enough, it seems that prolonged exposure to one of our engines will literally turn you into one of them.
You left the Drow city of Corsinia and then headed to Naxa Prison, which is on the other side of the world from Corsinia. When you arrived in Naxa Prison, there was a misunderstanding in process, is that correct? What did you discover when you arrived there, precisely? Captain Saket will answer this question.
We dock there and take our Grace prisoner, Hunkin, along with our chef, Heraclon, down. Hunkin leaves us with a cryptic message to tell his father to invest in property in the Markenham Gulf. We are met with a situation in the prison which starts with being told that the gnomes are eating each other. This then escalates with acidic puking and the gnomes threatening the warden. Adressai finds out that these gnomes are from Section 13 and they are up to something. But then all hell breaks loose as the prisoners escape. And despite all reassurances that the guards gave Blackston, we suspect this includes the high security section. Oh, how right we were. Battle commences with the escaped prisoners and a golem named Freddy, as we race to the engine room to find our most shocking discovery. The gnomes chanting in Draconic seem to be trying to bring the dragons back. Blackston spies a dragon within the engine, which are actually doors to the dragon realm. So we return to the Windswift to decide what to do, when Jorik encounters a man, or a vampire, who claims to have information about Jorik's sister. On the Windswift, we discover that reinforcements have been sent out, and that Hunkin's father, the Grafe ambassador, kind of wants him back. We stupidly return to the prison to finish business as it's being shot down by the Windswift. We defeat the escaped prisoners, but not before they kill the warden. But we do reclaim our chef. Blackston kills Hunkin, rather than return him to his father and break his word to the Sagetti. We close the door in the engine room. That's also lucky. Then we return to our ship, and our worst suspicions are confirmed. Our engine is too powered by dragon magic, and it is all Section 13's fault.
This brings the debriefing to a conclusion for now. The Deacon's report indicated that after the Naxa incident, the Windswift was severely damaged and had to put in at Deneth Wold, which is on the island of Sanctuary, for repairs. The conversations that happened between the captains and the druids is not on record, as the captains are no longer available for commentary. We are searching for them, and should anyone discover their whereabouts, we would be very, very pleased if they were to report it. For the Lord Archon's office, this is Captain Benteen.
The state of the Order is not well. The Order has edicts in place to decide what can and cannot be done in order to prevent the dragons from returning. Unfortunately, it seems that the very first edict, who speaks about how it is forbidden to open portals to the dragon prison realm, that edict is one that the Order itself is continually breaking, because the engines of the wind ships,
the engines create a portal to the prison dimension. They are able to use this to draw vast magical energy from dragons. This is how the engines power the airships.
and this is just too large a risk for us to accept. We cannot accept such a huge risk for the dragons returning. We've already seen several occasions where this technology itself has been manipulated and used by our enemies, the Raxdrakari for instance, to try and get the dragons back, and it's only by happenstance and chance that we've been around to stop it.
As for the Order, well, Section 13 are clearly up to something, and we need to find out what. I have a feeling the Order is probably going to be split when we do.
The Books of Tal. When we found the first one, we didn't know what it was, just that it was very powerful. And still, half the time, I felt like I was the only one who cared to figure it out. Turns out, the one we found was one of 6 ancient and extremely powerful tomes. Half of them are missing or destroyed by now, and the ones that still exist are locked up, tighter than, well, tight. The one we found, the Book of Plains, might well have been used to seal the dragons away back after the war. Well, they're dangerous, of course, highly dangerous. You see, they were made by someone becoming the book, their souls becoming infused by it. Everything they know, everything, knowledge, experience becomes the book. And then anyone who reads it risks becoming a chapter. And all that's left behind is your withered husk of a body. Now, all of the books cover different subjects. But together, if you could bring them together, well, at least it's rumored that together they could create or destroy worlds, universes. You could literally create a new plane of existence and become god of it. Which is, I suppose, why they're locked away very, very tightly. The gods don't much like competition.
As for what we will be doing in the future, I'm not quite sure. That's a team decision. But I think the Order needs some house cleaning, one way or another.
Chapter 6 of The Adventures of the Windswift has launched, and you can catch up from there if you haven't been watching the previous chapters and the exploits of the captains of the Windswift. So we look forward to seeing you. Episodes drop every single Monday. They're a 2-hour show, and they are a lot of fun, especially now that the future of the entire Order is at stake, and the future of the planet of Braxia rests entirely in the hands of these 5 poor captains. Can't wait to see what happens next in the adventures of the Windswift.